Good morning, everybody. Sunday morning, so back with another installment of Sunday Model Cars and Coffee. I'm gonna have a couple other videos probably out this week, or as soon as I get a chance. I got a package in. I need to show off and say thank you about. I finished a build. I'll probably do some stash ads. I'm really far behind on stash ads, which that can be, anytime because they just sit around here in boxes. But I should show off some of the stuff I got. Some of it's pretty cool. And then I need to do an update on the buddy build between me and Larry. Getting some paint, the finishing touches on the paint on my March this evening. But that's all for a different video. So this week I have another Formula One car. This is a really, really awesome kit, start to finish. It just is great. My very first Platts Nunu B-Max, whatever company it is on that particular boxing. This was a Platts Nunu boxing. The tooling all said B-Max on the sprues. I think they're all the same, but they just box them with different names on them. I don't really get that company's naming process, but this is the 1986 McLaren MP42C. KK Rosberg drove this car at the tail end of his career. He was a world champion with Williams a few years before this, but this was his last car in F1. He retired after the 1986 season. Managed to pull off one win in this car, while his teammate Alain Prost won, I believe, 4. Prost won the Drivers' Championship in 1986, but Williams actually won the Constructors' Championship. Their car was better, but Prost managed to be consistent enough to get the Drivers' Championship away from Nigel Mansell and Nelson Kay. So disappointing year for Williams, and McLaren was probably pleased just to get a Drivers' Championship because their car was sort of second best that year. The MP42 was developed in 1983 as the MP41E. That was when the Tag Electronics bankrolled the Porsche V6, which is under the bodywork of this thing. Go ahead and pull this off. This is older build as well. Probably a year and a half maybe. Not older, but not fresh either. As you can see, it's super, super nicely detailed. It's got this great texture on the carbon fiber. It's got great detail on the engine. I stuck a big thumbprint right here on the plenum, but that's all right. I wired the little V6, got the turbochargers down in there on each side. So yeah, in 1983, Tag Electronics bankrolled the Porsche V6, paid for the whole thing. So this is a Tag Porsche. That's what it says on the valve covers, and they named it the Tag Porsche because of the money. And then, it ended up being pretty good. It made up to probably 800 horsepower in race trim, close to 1,000 in qualifying trim by the time they had it all, said and done. But it was still, by the time 86 rolled around, underpowered. In 84 and 85, the MP42 and MP42B were the dominant cars on the grid with Alain Prost and Niki Lauda. Lauda won his last championship in the MP42 in 1984, and Prost won his first championship in 1985 in the MP42B, and they won the Constructors in 84 and 85. Just a really successful car. They raced 3 seasons, and like I said, by the time the 3rd season rolled around, it wasn't the best anymore, but still fast enough to win races and win the Drivers' Championship. So, you see this bodywork fits on here really well. I just can't say enough about that. And now for this livery, you might think that's a little weird because it's not fluorescent red. In the Portuguese Grand Prix in 1986, Marlboro was debuting Marlboro Lights. And come race time, after qualifying and practicing in the regular Dayglow red Marlboro livery, Rosberg's car was repainted this yellow to promote Marlboro Lights. Even though lights never appeared on the car, it still just said Marlboro. It was only a 1-race deal because I don't think it really showed up on TV that great. It just sort of looked like they left the car out in the sun too long. But all the yellow on this car is decals. I wanted to try to use the decals first just to see if they'd work. This was my first experience with this kit manufacturer, and they did. They worked pretty well. Over this compound curb, I got a couple of wrinkles I couldn't get rid of. But I mean, honestly, I couldn't have done a better job masking that. As you can see, they do give you the demarcations for the chevrons as well. So I left those and didn't sand them off because I was worried I was going to have to paint this. If I did it again, I would probably paint it. But at the time, I wanted to try the decals. Ooh, I'm trying to drop it. It's very heavy. It's a big kit, 20th scale. But yeah, the decals really laid down nice. I had to get the Marlboro decals in the aftermarket. They're usually never included in the kits. So I managed to find some that had the yellow chevrons to go with this car on eBay. And the rest of the yellow livery came with the actual kit itself. This car was all carbon fiber with carbon brakes. It was kind of an innovative car in that manner. This was early in the full carbon fiber Formula One car deal. But yeah, just a super successful car, to the point in 1984, one of the commentators said, anything as fast as the McLaren fell apart, anything as reliable finished later. It was just utterly dominant early. But you know, by the time it was getting pretty long in the tooth 3 years later, so eventually it was replaced by the even more dominant MP44, which between Senna and Prost in 1988, they won every race but one. So a couple of really dominant cars sort of in a row there. The MP43 was in there too, but the MP42 and the MP44 were just 2 really successful cars in the 80s. McLaren was on the top of their game then, with great driver lineups too. Lauda, Prost, Rosberg, Senna, all world champions. So I think that's it. This is almost 10 minutes now, so sorry about that. Got a little carried away with the car history, as I will. Yeah, I'll be back though. More build updates and stuff to show off. So I'll catch you guys again soon. Looking forward to watching everybody's videos. You guys have a great week this week, and I hope you had a great weekend.